Look at how hardcore I am now. Tablets, laptops, phones, tablets, monitors, keyboards, mouse. I even have another one over here that I can't figure out what to do with. Storage. I don't know. I can hold my thermal pads here. Very cool. I was recently contacted by XLayout. This is a company here. They asked me if I wanted to review one of their monitor stands here. This one is the X Central foldable monitor stand. Thanks, man. You know, sometimes I do a lot of research before I even touch something, especially if I'm buying it myself. But sometimes, you know, I just want to go in blind and experience it like you guys. So let's see what we got here. So we have here, this is like a hard drive cable. That's cool. That's interesting. I actually have a SSD in my other shame pile off to the side there. So that'll be interesting. I can plug that in. XLayout, we'll look up that. And this is your power, because like it is a powered device here. Okay. So there's lots of ways you can set this up. We'll just get it unboxed first. So that's the back, because there's nothing on the back there. We're going to go with the front here. So there's a couple ways you could set it up, right? It depends how big your desk is. So there's lots of different options here. You can go with the setup like that, you know, bring it in kind of like horizontally there. So if you don't have a very wide desk, you can bring it in there. You know, I'm just going to set my little monitor on it. I can go like that, and I can look more for height, right? Or, you know, maybe I want more width out of it here. That's going to add a few inches on each side, like 1.5 inches or more on each side. You still get all the ports. The height is basically the same. That's really good there. So there's lots of ways you can set it up like that with these little adjusters. The hinge on here feels quite nice. Again, it's plastic, but it feels quite nice. Firm, not bad firm, good firm. And once it's there, it snaps into place. So it's got good, I'd say, confidence. It's as far as confidence here. Rubber feet here, so it won't roll around, slide around or anything like that. The plastic itself, like I said, it is plastic, but it's like a good plastic. Like, I'm approaching 200 pounds. I'm a larger human, and I'm putting a lot of weight on that, enough to like rock my house. And that's a sturdy thing there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So that slides in there, right? You know, you get that like that, and you say, all right, that's where I want it to be. It's going to be nice and sturdy once it's in there, kind of locked in, right? Yeah, that looks good. Of course, you can do this as well. Slide that under and go for a more minimalistic setup. You know, you can do this however you want, right? It has the rubber feet on the bottom here. Like this is a rubberized texture here. So that's not going to slide around, right? This whole thing is kind of a, I don't know, textured. Not rubbery, but like a resistant to movement plastic here. And then these are, for, of course, rubber. So you can just put that on there, set that like that. If you want it to be there, you can put it underneath. Lots of ways you could set it up. I'm going to go for the full Monty kind of setup here. I'm going to go like this here. So we have a USB-C on the left here, 2 USB-A. And that looks like it's 3.1 probably, so we get decent speeds out of it. So good speeds there. And then on the back side here is where you're going to have your connectors. So this is your data cable, which is that kind of hard drive looking cable over here. That's going to be your data cable, so you plug that into your laptop or your desktop, whatever. And then you have your power over here. This is an RGB kill switch, so we're going to test that out too. So this stuff is going to be kind of hidden, power and, you know, data, RGB back there. And we actually enable ourselves to have 2 USB-A and a USB-C. So it's kind of killer for like a MacBook or something, or, you know, ThinkPad X1 Nano or something like that, where you have like 2 ports at best. Okay, so we got it plugged in here to the wall. And then we have the data cable plugged in. So I'm going to use my ThinkPad for this video for the purpose of testing. So we'll get it set up, and we'll hook up my ThinkPad here. I have my ThinkPad on here. I believe I have to long press the button at the back here. Turn it on. There we go. I mean, obviously it's on because now there's cool guy RGB going. See if that works. Yes, it does. What else can we plug in here? Could plug in maybe an NVMe here. Let's see if this works here. Yes, it does. So, I mean, the nice thing about this as well is if you get yourself, you know, this ThinkPad only has a single NVMe slot inside, so it's not, you know, loaded full of storage. I can upgrade it, which is nice. But say you also have yourself a MacBook or something like that. How much is MacBook storage? Like, you can mortgage your house to get yourself some more storage. You know, that's my biggest gripe with Apple, is not that they make bad stuff, is that they massively overcharge for their storage. So it has these stand modes here, so you can set this up higher. I don't know, let's go like that. And then you can set this so that your laptop doesn't evacuate. That's actually pretty much eye level too. That's kind of cool. I probably want a bigger screen. I also have a Lenovo Legion, which has a 16-inch screen, which is much more suitable than a little 14-inch screen. That's kind of cool so far. It's all this stuff in here. So we got some trays in here. I don't know, what can I put in there? A phone maybe? Is that what that's for? Yeah, I guess it is for a phone. So that's my Pixel there. This is a goodies tray there. So you can store things in there like that. You can also leave it part way out so that you can do that. Oh, it's rubberized inside too. There's actually a rubberized texture on the inside of the lip there. You can see, so you can set this up right in front of you, or if you have a full-size iPad, right, we can play a video like that there, or maybe you have your calendar in here. That's probably actually I'll use it. I'll have my calendar in here. What else do we have here? Oh, we have more things. Look at all this stuff. Okay, well, there's even more controllers. There's even more little cabinets in here too. So I mean, you can store, like USBs and things in here. So you can set your iPad like that right there, right? Have it set up there, or you can move it down here if you want to have this thing closed. But it gives you that piece there. It's actually rubberized inside, not plastic. So there's a rubberized piece right here, which allows it to kind of grip in, so it's not going to slide around and be damaged. Plus, the screen is going to sit on that, but that rubberized takes the pressure off. So you can put that there, or you can put that there. There's a little cupboard in there that you can hide USBs. That's kind of nice. Or if you don't want it, you can just close it up, right? Lots of different options there. These ones down here, same idea, right? You can set that there. That might be more for a phone, right? Set that up down there. There's a full cabinet in here where you can put stuff like that, little booklets, whatever, the XLayout stuff, which actually I'm going to put in there so I don't lose it, because I'm prone to losing things. So the XLayout goodies go in there. You can have this out like that, right? Use that setup. Again, you can see me reflected there. So I would actually be using this slightly different. I'm going to show you how I would use it, because I just kind of come up with things as I'm going about. And I'm just going to take this right off, right? So this comes off. It's just modular, right? So that's going to go over there, right? You can have this set up over here like this. Very cool, right? You have your second screen. I think a lot of people who use laptops do it like this. Some people use their laptop as their primary display. I don't know, maybe some people do that, but I think most people have it as a secondary, like this over here, at least what I see online. People on my Discord, this is how they have it set up, kind of like their auxiliary stats on their desk, on their laptop over here. They take their laptop to work. They come home, all you gotta do is plug in the single data cable here, and you can rock all your dongles here. So it's easy to really, enhance your setup. But this primary one here is actually more for something like monitors and things like that. And that's how I would be using it. So you get that set up like that. Let's move it back here because it's really, really, really close, right? You get this set up like that there. I can leave this NVMe permanently attached, or I can plug it in, tuck it back there, and just have permanent storage, right? When I come home, I just plug in my laptop with this cord over here, the little data cable, plug it in there, and this, this storage here is permanently attached to my laptop, right? So I don't need to, it's permanently attached here, so I don't need to plug it in, take it out, plug it in, plug it in. I can just have it hooked up there. Or perhaps I have something like an actual hard drive, right? Like this is a hard drive enclosure. My laptop doesn't have a lot of storage, but I want to have like a 16 terabyte hard drive in here, or 18 terabytes. So I get myself like a Western Digital drive like that, plop that in here, for example, right? Get that all set up, and then I actually just leave that on there, probably something like that there, right? Or on the back or somewhere else. And then when you get home, you just basically, when you plug this in here, it's going to be permanently plugged in here. When I get home, all I do is I plug in my laptop and I get access to my gigantic hard drive or whatever, right? So there's lots of cool ways you can use these type of devices here, these layouts, and really enhance your type of desktop setup. It's not just about, it's not just about I got a cool thing for a monitor stand and a laptop stand over here. You have to, with a product like this is supposed to be a creative type product where, it has multiple different ways you can set it up. You can set it up in a monolithic setup, or you can set them up in different ways. You move things around. So I think this is a cool setup here. You have that maybe moved over just a slight little bit over there. You have yourself a hard drive, like an actual big physical hard drive full of data. Set that up there. Take your laptop for the day, right? You just unplug this here on the left. Right? I go to work. I'm done work. I'm working. I come home and I set that up there like that. Set that down and start working. The nice thing as well, you can have this set up, downwards, right? You can have it set up so it's flat, But laptops, they don't have the best, airflow. So what you're probably going to want to do is come in here and set it up with this piece here raised up. And the reason is, my cooling here, my fan is actually over here. My fan on my laptop is over here. When I use my Lenovo Legion, there's 2 different sizes there. So the laptop stand here in the center is actually going to dramatically increase the cooling of my laptop. It's working as a laptop cooling stand. One without a fan, but typically you don't actually need a fan. Just raising up the back already has a huge impact on that. I'm going to get a lot more airflow here than rather than having this thing sit down flat. So it's nice to have it raised up like that a little bit there, right? And then you have your setup here, and you're pretty much cooking. Like I said, you can set up your iPad here if you just want to have another monitor underneath, right? Now I can have an iPad. This is just a mini, but you can put a full iPad in there, right? Oh, I want to be able to read my phone while I'm doing work, and I don't want to have my phone, sitting over here off to the side. Well, why not just put it right there? Messages are dead center all of a sudden, right? I don't even own enough devices to put other things over here. I guess you could put a book over here, right? Or my thermal pad or whatever. If I'm reading a book or something, or I have some notepad or something that I'm working on, right? You can set that over to the side over here. So yeah, I mean, this thing's pretty cool. It's like, it seems complex because there's so many different things you can do with it. Yield, I think it's really simple to kind of leverage this type of stand here. I mean, just get it, hook it up, kind of figure out what's best for your workflow here, and then decide, like what's the best way to set it up if you're doing like the laptop style like I have over here. Okay, and then there's this RGB button on the back here. Let's get this out here so we can really take a look at the RGB. The wire mess right here because it's just setup mode. This is just a monitor that I'm reviewing right now. Eventually I'll have a different monitor on this thing. So it looks like there's lots of different RGB settings. That's kind of a static one, and it just kind of phases through the colors. Red, blue, that one, I wouldn't like that one. That one would drive me nuts. Green is actually pretty nice. I like green. It's actually a really nice color there. Pulsing is kind of cool. I would probably just leave it on this one. This one looks cool. It's kind of like a slower, it's not as distracting, looks kind of nice. Or you can just turn it off. I think I found the solution for Legion Go, ROG Ally, and Steam Deck users. You can certainly have that dual setup over there, but I think this is cool. There's the little cool stand built in here, which means I actually get really good airflow back here. I have like a full section there. I can get air going in. I don't have to do that. It sits on this cool little stand here, and it's nice and sturdy. Like, it's not going anywhere. Depending on which one you have, like the ROG Ally has a cord coming out the top. The Legion Go has this cord coming out the bottom here, which is super cool. So I can just tuck that in here, get it out of here, and then I can have a full gaming setup here. I don't know, this is pretty cool to me. So if you have like a Legion Go or an ROG Ally or Steam Deck or whatever, I mean, you can set it up on this little stand here. It's super cool. Of course, you can still get access to these other ones, right? Like I can still put my phone in here or whatever, but I think this is one of the more cool uses of this XLayout here. Leave it on the stacked here. May seem kind of high, but when I'm actually sitting up, I have bad posture. When I'm actually sitting up, this is my eye level right here. Technically right there. So this is actually a perfect height for me on this screen here. You could get this screen doesn't have adjustability. Some screens you could bring down, whatever, but this is perfect for me. And now I can play these games right in front of me. So this is super cool setup for that. And not just for gaming, right? Like these are computers nowadays, right? So you can just hook it up here and use this as a computer over here and, do Word documents and stuff like that. And then when you want to go, unplug it and take that with you for the day. Of course, you can hook in a lot of storage. These devices don't have a lot of storage, but once again, as I mentioned, like, why not get yourself a big, gigantic hard drive and set that over there, plug it in here, and then you can turn your ROG Ally or your Legion Go into like a legitimate Windows PC. So very, very cool.